Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Monday, the 11th of September. With McShane's reading scheme, we're now reading through the second book of Samuel, and today we read chapter 6, the story of how David brings the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem. As they're bringing it into the city, the oxen pulling the cart stumble. Uzzah reaches out to stabilize the Ark, and because that is seen, God sees that as an act of disrespect and presumption. Obed-Edom dies on the spot. David immediately says, "Oh, that's a problem. I hadn't realized it was this serious." And he sends the ark off to the house of Obed-Edom. And we're told in verse 11, the ark of the Lord remained in the house of Obed-Edom, the Gittite, for 3 months. And the Lord blessed him and his entire household. And so when David hears this, he then says, no, we do need to bring the ark up. And that time they do it properly, with priests carrying the ark rather than copying the surrounding pagan nations putting their idols on carts. The priests carried the ark. But as I read that, I thought, here is the ark, a symbol of the presence of God in the house of Obed-Edom, and he is blessed to such a degree that people notice, and David notices. And I thought, what a wonderful image for us of having God in our lives. Now, it would be very convenient if we had an ark or some symbol that we could just bring. But that was to teach people. But we have more than that. We have the very Spirit of God available to us. And we just say, God, come into my life. Jesus, you say you stand at the door of our hearts and knock. And you'll come in and sup with anyone that invites you. And Lord, come into my life. Come into my space. Be with me. And we know that as he does that, we are blessed in the same way that Obed-Edom was. Now, for some people, blessings, we immediately think of physical blessing, and sometimes that happens. I know of a number of people, businessmen, who've had God at the center of their business and sought to serve him, and they have been blessed. And as they've been blessed, they've been generous, and they say, God gives to me and I can just pass it on. It all comes from God. And so that does sometimes happen. But there are other people where it's not a physical blessing. You can't tally it up and put it in the bank or anything like that. But there are people that just have a deep peace and a contentment and a serenity that other people around them just don't have. And so I pray that as you have God in your life, and as I have God in my life, that we would experience what Obed-Edom did. That God being with us, God being in us, God being part of our lives, that we would be blessed. And so richly blessed that people would see it and notice and want to know why. What is it that we do? And we can say, well, I just have God in my life. That's what I do. I give myself over to God, and God does it all. So be encouraged that this is the kind of God we're following. This is who we believe in. This is who we trust. And this is who we have as part of our lives. And we are blessed.